Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video there's quite a few things to negotiate about. So I am going to be talking with you a bit more about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is good enough for Manchester United? Do you think he can get us back, being a competitive elite level football club? And that is the question. Now I've heard some Manchester United fans saying to get us back being a competitive elite level football club, we need to recommend a world class manager in, like a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola and that. But like I've said to you, I don't know if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the right manager for Manchester United. I think, we need to give him at least another season at the football club. Obviously, he's been at Manchester United now almost 17 months. So he has been at the football club over the year. But it is a transition period, and it's been a transition period for quite some time. And like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period in that. Now, like I give you the news yesterday, the football season is resuming. Tottenham and Manchester United is going to be the first Premier League game back, and it is live on Friday Night Football. I think the season is resuming on the 20th of June. I think it's the 20th of June. It actually could start on the 12th of June. I think it depends on the fitness levels. And so yeah, so Tottenham Man United will be a very, very good game. Solskjaer's been under a lot of pressure throughout the course of this season because we have enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season ever. And he will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up when the football season does resume, because before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and that. And like I've said to these things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does need to work on. And I have seen some improvements under Solskjaer, but the things that I needs to work on is that I think he needs to work out his best formation. As you realise this season, Solskjaer has been changing formation persistently. He's obviously, gone with a 4-3-3 quite a few times. Obviously, he's gone with a 4-2-3-1 a lot. From my own perception, that 4-2-3-1 formation doesn't really seem to suit our standards. And in the games like against the big six sides, he has gone with three at the back. And from my own perception, we look more expansive with three at the back. I think Solskjaer's approach to the games against lower opposition also need to improve, and probably, he does need to make a tactical change. So they're the things, that he does need to work on. But as it stands at the moment, we are sitting fifth in the Premier League, and we are 3 points behind Chelsea. These 92 games to play, by the way, in all competitions. I think I heard that the FA Cup's going to be scrapped. I'm not too sure. And I'm not too sure what's happening with the European games. But obviously, like I said, we progressed to the FA Cup quarter-finals. We've also progressed to the last eight of the Europa League. So hopefully they can go ahead, because that is a chance for us getting some silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. It's a chance, yet it is. And obviously, Solskjaer's already revealed his plans for the summer transfer window. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out last week and he made a key transfer statement, saying that, the summer transfer window will be completely different, to the recent transfer windows. Of course, this will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fourth transfer window in total as Manchester United manager, because of course so far Solskjaer's enjoyed three transfer windows at the football club, and he has recommended 5 players in to the football club and that. And I think, the 5 players that he has recommended in have been very, very impressive. James has done well, Bissaka's done well, Harry Maguire's done well, and of course Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo have all done very, very well. And like I said, the signing of Bruno Fernandes has definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United and that. So, so there you go. And obviously, in the summer transfer window, it will be second summer transfer window as Manchester United manager and that. But like I've said, these some positives to take from, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure so far. Like I said, with the players that he's recommended in. Also, too, he's promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their opportunities this season, which is very, very good to see. So they are the positives, you can take from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe because obviously, Ed Woodward has said on numerous occasions this season that his job is safe, and Ed Woodward has said that he is willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Ed Woodward probably believes that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. I think the Glazers as well, I've said a few times they are determined to back him. Obviously, Ed Woodward has been talking a lot as well. Don't forget, Ed Woodward came out a few weeks ago and told the fans forum, he said, we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market, and we won't, spend hundreds of millions of pounds. So he basically, ruled out big transfers to Manchester United, did Ed Woodward. But, Solskjaer, he's said he's looking to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer. We are planning on making 3 big signings this summer. And obviously, want to get Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish and Jude Bellingham into the football club. Then 3 players are going to cost us around £220 million. Don't forget Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. And of course, he's identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And another good thing, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the dead wood since he got recommended into the football club. We have seen a lot of players leave. We've seen some players leave on permanent transfers, and we've seen some players go out on loan. Of course, Ashley Young left this year. Marcus Rojo went out on loan this year. Obviously, Smalling went out on loan last summer. Darmian left permanently last summer. Dean Enton, of course, went out on loan to Sheffield United. Obviously, Herrera left last summer. Marion Fellaini left back in January 2019. He was the first player to leave the football club under the Solskjaer era. And of course, Romelu Lukaku left last summer. And of course, Alexis Sanchez last summer went out on loan. So to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood, and he is planning on getting rid of around 5 or 6 players in this summer transfer market. So he is going to get rid of more of the deadwood, which is obviously, very, very good in that. But like I said, I've been very, very critical of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the vast majority of this season, but not all of the blame stems from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like I said. Manchester United, of course, have been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. Obviously, Ed Woodward has been here since, 2012, so I think this is now his 8th season at Manchester United. And the main explanations why we've criticised Ed Woodward is because, obviously, with our recruitment policy, how poor it's been for several years. Also, he's been criticised with us overpaying for players in recent years and that. So they are the main explanations. Obviously, we've had a lot of doubts about the club's ownership, the Glazers as well. The Glazers have been at Manchester United since 2005. And, the Glazers, I think, have taken over like £1 billion out of the football club. So there you go and that. And like I said, if we can get the right calibre players in this summer, I think we can mount a title challenge up next season. Maybe not win it, but at least mount a title challenge up. Like I said, this is the 7th season that, we failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. So that just indicates how inconsistent we have been in the last 6 or 7 years. We have not won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. And like I said to we have been playing catch up for the last 6 or 7 years. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Like I said, we have sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. So Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, obviously, we sacked David Moyes after he endured 9 months at the football club. Obviously, we knew it was never going to work out under him anywhere. Obviously, Sir Alex Ferguson was ever at the fault for ever recommending David Moyes in. But the main explanation why I recommended him in is because he was both Scottish. Obviously, after Moyes, Van Gaal got sacked. Van Gaal endured 2 years at the football club, and he did win the FA Cup with us. And obviously, after that, Jose Mourinho got sacked after he endured 2.5 years at Manchester United. And in the last 6 or 7 years, we haven't only, had different managers. We have recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era, and that's including the players that we have recruited in under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era and that. and we spent close to the £1 billion range on these players. So in reality, we should be in Liverpool's position reflecting on the money we've spent. Obviously, we got the likes of Fellaini and Matter under the David Moyes era. Moyes only brought 2 players in. Obviously, Van Gaal brought players like Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Falcao, Depay, Daley Blind, Rojo, Darmian, Martial and Shaw, who of course are still here. So Louis Van Gaal recruited a lot of players in. He also got rid of a lot of the players that we had under Ferguson, don't forget. But the vast majority of the players that we had under Van Gaal are no longer here now. Obviously, Jose Mourinho, he recommended 11 players into the football club, and the vast majority of these players from the Jose Mourinho era are still here. There's only a few that have left from the Jose Mourinho era, so take into account Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer is inheriting them. Like I've said to we haven't dominated football since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said, Alex Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United. Of course, won a total of 38 major honours. Obviously, one of the most decorated managers of all time. But don't forget, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. But we had the success under Alex Ferguson. But like I said, give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at least another season and give him at least a couple of more transfer windows to see who else he can recommend into the football club. Now, I said these uncertainty this summer, obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic, and obviously, a lot of clubs are under financial pressure due to this coronavirus pandemic. So like I mentioned, maybe players will go for a lot less than what they're worth. Teams, may not get the players, that they do want to recommend in. But, I think Solskjaer believes, we can get the right players in. And if we had to get qualification for the Champions League, we can then attract players to the elite level. So let's just put that into the equation. Like I've said to you, I hope it works out under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, because I do like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot. He was a very, very good player for the football club for 11 years, and he flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. And like I said, as a manager, he's inexperienced, is Solskjaer, but the longer he remains in the Manchester United job, he's going to be gaining more managerial experience. Obviously, Man United is the third club that he's managing in his managerial career. Obviously, before he came to us, he was at Molde, Did quite well with Molde, to be fair, won a couple of Norwegian titles. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. And obviously, he enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff, did Solskjaer. I think he only managed around 29 games for Cardiff. The main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated and that. But, as people will say, we give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job too. We're giving it too early. The main explanation why we give him the job permanently is reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Because don't forget, he won his first 8 games. I think he won 9 away games on the trot, and he won 14 out of 19 in all competitions. So that was enough to give him the job permanently. He did sign a 3-year contract when he got it permanently, but now he's been here over a year, so he has got 2 years remaining on his contract. But we're going to see what he, does when the season resumes. If he can keep this good run of form up, then see what he does, going on into next season. But I don't know, to be quite honest with you. Like I said to you, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting the sack earlier on in the season. And obviously at that point, there was talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in, who was the former Juventus manager. There was also a lot of narratives in the mainstream media about Mauricio Pochettino coming in, because it said earlier on this season that Pochettino was in talks with Man United and that of, becoming our next manager. And it said he was interested in coming to the football club, was Pochettino. Don't forget, when we sacked Jose Mourinho, we tried to recommend Mauricio Pochettino in. But Pochettino, I don't think he'll be coming because, I think Newcastle want Mauricio Pochettino and that, if the Saudi Arabians do take over their football club. So there you go. If the Saudi Arabians do take over their football club. And like I've said, we have had quite a lot of injuries since the start of this season. So obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had to make a lot of rotation anyway. Obviously, Marcus Rashford's been out of a back injury since January. Obviously, Paul Pogba's been out, with injury. He's been out for a good 7 or 8 months and that. We've had Delors. He's had a few injuries this season. Bay was injured, but obviously, came back in January. Foster Mensah had a long injury. Luke Shaw was injured. He missed the first part of the season, with injury. Obviously, McTominay was injured earlier on in the season. Tuanzebe, he was also injured. Lee Grant's obviously a long-term absentee. So we have had a lot of injuries throughout the course of this season and that. But, like I said, next season, I expect us to enjoy a better season than what we've enjoyed this season, of course. But analysing it at the moment, City strides ahead of us. And, of course, Liverpool are strides ahead of us in that. Now, Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer, by the way, has got some tough decisions to make. He has got some tough decisions to make. Like, what's he going to do with, Tahith Chong? Does he want to keep Chong or, does he want to send him out on loan? Now, some Manchester United fans have said that Tahith Chong should go out on loan because obviously, he isn't getting enough first team opportunities. Is Tahith Chong. He has played a couple of times, but not much. Don't forget Tahith Chong made his competitive debut in our 2-0 win against Reading last season, if you do remember rightly. So I think we should loan Tahith Chong out, to be quite honest with you. But it's a tough decision to make. It is a tough decision to make. Obviously, I'll get into the Angel Gomez in a minute. We also are facing a dilemma over Odin Ighalo. So we've got a tough decision to make on him as well. Because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been advised not to get Odin Ighalo on a permanent transfer. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and made an admission, and he said, he's keen on getting Odin Ighalo a permanent contract at the football club. Now, Shanghai Shenhua, they've come out and said that, they want £20 million to let Odin Ighalo go on a permanent transfer. Maybe Manchester United won't pay the £20 million that Shanghai Shenhua are demanding. Now, obviously, Odin Ighalo's loan does expire at the end of this month, and Odin Ighalo did say that he wants his loan spell at the football club extended. I'm not too sure yet if we've entered any negotiations with Shanghai Shenhua, but Shanghai Shenhua did say that they expect Odin Ighalo to return for the start of the new Chinese Super League season. I think the Chinese Super League season does start in July, if I am correct. It does start in July. But, we did pay around £4 million to get Odin Ighalo on loan. £4 million. I think his wages at Shanghai Shenhua are like, is it £300,000 a week or something like that? To be fair, he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career before the football season got suspended because, he did score 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club. And like I mentioned, he has been a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford as Odin Ighalo. So, yeah, we are facing a dilemma with him. It did, mention that Newcastle, have recently expressed their interest, but it probably will end up going back to Shanghai Shenhua and that. So, there you go. Obviously, you already know the news on Angel Gomez. Now, we basically got a tough decision to make on Angel Gomez. Because some United fans will say get rid of him because obviously Angel Gomez isn't getting enough chances at Manchester United. He's only made 6 first team appearances this season for the football club, and he's only made 10 in total since he broke into the senior squad back in 2017. He made his debut in our 1-0 win against Crystal Palace, and that was back under the Jose Mourinho era. Now, like I've said to you, recent reports have said that, Chelsea, are confident that, they can sign Angel Gomez. It confirmed earlier on this week that Angel Gomez's agent has held talks with Chelsea. It also mentions that Arsenal have been in for Angel Gomez and so too have Barcelona. I think Angel Gomez probably does want to go though because he doubts, about getting into the first team. I think we did say though if he was to sign new contracts at the club, then we would, give him first team opportunities. And Solskjaer's become infuriated now with Angel Gomez, reflecting on his refusal to sign a new contract. Obviously, it's been a long process with all this with Angel Gomez because we've been trying to get him a contract, for quite some time now. We've put forward a few contract offers. We offered him a £25,000 a week contract. We offered him a £30,000 a week contract, plus additional bonuses, but he has turned both of these offers down. And obviously, Angel Gomez is available on a free transfer at the end of next month, unless, he does sign a new contract, which I don't see happening. Which I do not see happening. So yeah, I think he's going to be leaving the football club. I really, really do. Don't forget, Angel Gomez became the youngest player to represent Man United since Duncan Edwards back in the 1950s and became the first player born in the 2000s to appear in the Premier League. I think it mentioned that we've set a deadline for Angel Gomez. We have set a deadline for him, and I think he's got until next week to make a decision over his future. Angel Gomez is only at the age of 19. Only the age of 19. So yeah, so he's not getting enough starts. Heath Chong, he's not getting enough opportunities in that. Garner, he's been another one, he's seldom played throughout the course of this season, but Garner should get more opportunities going on into next season. But, with what's been going on with Chon and Gomez this season, it's been totally contrast, with Mason Greenwood and Williams, because they've been given their opportunities. Okay, Mason Greenwood's not really started in the Premier League, but he's still made a lot of substitute appearances. He started a lot in the cup games as well. Williams got quite a few starts in that. Williams, I'd put him as our first choice left back maybe next year or two. I won't put him as our first choice left back now because he is still inexperienced at the moment. So I would keep Luke Shaw as our first choice left back at the moment. I really, really would keep him as our first choice left back and that. Like I said, we've got a lot of players on our agenda. Obviously, yesterday I give you the news on Rabbi Matondo from Schalke. Now, he's the latest player to be on our agenda. It said from the Manchester Evening News yesterday that we've expressed our interest in Rabbi Matondo. Now, basically, we are seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. Rabbi Matondo would be a much cheaper solution than Jadon Sancho. Now, obviously, he's playing in the Bundesliga. He's Rabbi Matondo. This is, being his first season with Schalke, of course, in the first team. He has got a contract with Schalke until 2023 because when he signed for Schalke, I think he signed a 4.5 year deal. Schalke paid, around 11.5 million for him from Manchester City because Rabbi Matondo is a former Manchester City player. I think he enjoyed a few years with them but never got into their senior squad, did Rabbi Matondo. I think, City at the time when they got him, they paid around £500,000 for him from Cardiff. Because before he was at City, he was at Cardiff, began his youth career with Cardiff. He's actually born in Liverpool, he's Rabbi Matondo, but at a young age, he did move to Wales. I think his performances this season for Schalke have been very, very good. I think he's played around 21 times in all competitions for Schalke as the player. So, and he's only the age of 19, so he is very, very young. So, would you take him at Manchester United and that? Do you think he'd go well alongside the likes of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood and that in our attacking line? Do let me know in the comments below if you would take him at the football club. But he's a much cheaper solution than Jadon Sancho because Jadon Sancho, of course, is our number one priority target for the summer. But I'm not going to fully assure that we are going to sign him in the summer because obviously, reports were coming out last week saying, that we're planning to sign Jadon Sancho next summer rather than this summer. That's what it basically said. And actually, Borussia Dortmund did say that they do expect Jadon Sancho to stay with them this summer. Don't forget the Borussia Dortmund managing director came out yesterday and he actually, said, reflecting on the season, transfer fees are gonna drop even more. Obviously, with the financial issues, and he says that loan moves will be increased. So he maybe expects more loan moves than permanent moves to be done. Is there a possibility chance, that we could get Jadon Sancho on loan? Obviously, Borussia Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. Obviously, they have said that they want at least £100 million for him, but it did get confirmed last week that we are not willing to pay the £100 million that, Borussia Dortmund want. So we are not willing to smash our transfer record. But I think, Borussia Dortmund are hopeful that they can keep Jadon Sancho, in Germany. And he also put their other players into the equation as well. He put their other players into the equation. Don't forget Dimitar Berbatov recently gave his verdict on it. Obviously, Dimitar Berbatov, said he'd be better off staying at Borussia Dortmund than coming to Man United because maybe he doesn't think it's the right time for him to go to Manchester United. This has been Jadon Sancho's third season with Borussia Dortmund, and got to say, since his arrival in Germany, he's been a revelation. Dortmund only paid £7 million for Man City, so if they were to sell him, they would make a huge profit on the player. Sancho's got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. Yes, he has in that. And like I said, the main explanation why I left Manchester City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities. Before he was at City, he was at Watford, and he was at Watford for several years. So began his footballing career in London, and it came out the other week saying that Jadon Sancho's transfer would be a transfer back. His preference would be a transfer back home to London. Sorry. And if he was to go back to London, I think he would make a move to Chelsea because Chelsea are still in for Jadon Sancho and that. We've been in negotiations with his agent and his contract and we've been working on his contracts for quite some time. Like Fabrizio Romano broke out, and he did say willing to offer Jadon Sancho the number 7 and that. So there you go. So maybe we won't sign Jadon Sancho in the summer and that. But there you go. You already know the news on Moussa Dembele from Lyon. A lot of positivity, has been coming out regarding Moussa Dembele from Lyon, because reports have been coming out recently, saying that we've agreed a transfer, for Moussa Dembele with Lyon, and reportedly we're going to pay around £61 million for the player and that. So yeah, and like I've said to you, there's 2 young players that are incoming anyway, and that is Joe Hugel from Sunderland. We've agreed around the £250,000 fee with Sunderland for Joe Hugel, and also to Marc Ardo is incoming from Barcelona, that youth academy player, and I think we've paid just over £1 million in compensation to get him in. So that is 2 players, that are incoming at Manchester United, which is of course very, very good news. Like I said to you there, I think, we've been inconsistent in, the transfer markets before Solsjkaer came in. But I think since Solskjaer came in, we have really, really improved in the transfer markets. What I mean is I think we have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment, and Solskjaer's got the players, in that he wanted to recommending. So that is obviously, very, very good news. Don't forget, we are not recommending a director of footballing like he updated you a couple of weeks ago. We've abandoned our search for a director of football because Ed Woodward did want to recommend one in, who was in search for a director of football, for a couple of years. And I did say at the time when we was in for one, we needed to get one in because that's one of the structural changes that we do need at the football club. And there was quite a few names linked with that director's role, like I mentioned, but it's obviously reflects on the impact Solskjaer's made. He doesn't want to get a director of footballing, so maybe, we can trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with funds. So there you go and that. So there you go. Obviously as well, you know the news on Paul Pogba, don't you? I've already given you the news on him. He's going to be staying at Manchester United next season, which is very, very good news. But it's looking very, very likely. And I'm going to be excited about the prospect of him, playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, because Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes have not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield and that. And like I've said, swap deals have been on the agenda. There's been talks of Federico Bernardeschi now coming into Man United as part of a swap deal of Pogba going back to Juventus plus cash. Ramsey, Rabiot, Douglas Costa, Janik, they've all been mentioned in that. So there you go. Because Juventus, can't afford 100 million for Pogba. They can't also afford to pay off his wages because Juventus have become the first Italian club to have their own cap salary, don't forget. Paul Pogba's been stepping up his fitness regime because he has been training in Chesterfield with Lindelof, Pereira and Martial and that. So yeah, very, very good. And Paul Pogba has revealed his plans ahead of his return. He's aiming to be the best player in the world. And obviously, like I said, Paul Pogba, I think, has got a year left on his contract at Man United. with an option of a further year. I think Man United will probably trigger that 1 year extension on his contract. Another thing that we've got to sort out is contract extensions more, because we've got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire at the end of next year. So that's something else we need to sort out. To be fair, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer got recommended in to the football club and that. There you go. But like I said to you, see what happens next season with Solskjaer. Doesn't work out, then, that's when I would get rid of him. I really, really would. But like I said, the best manager we've ever had is obviously, Alex Ferguson. I've got to probably say the worst manager we've ever had is David Moyes. But, we had bad managers before Ferguson. Ron Atkinson wasn't so good. Franco Farrell wasn't so good under him because we got relegated under Franco Farrell. I think it was in 1974. We had Wolf McGuinness. He endured 18 months at the football club and only recruited 1 player in. So our recruitment, was very, very poor there. Like I've said to you as well before, there's players over the years that we've been in for who we've missed out on, who in reality, we really should have got. Ramsey in 2008 when he was at Cardiff before he went to Arsenal, was close to getting him. Obviously, I think, was close to getting Ronaldinho under Ferguson back in 2003. Obviously, we missed out on quite a few players under the David Moyes era. Obviously, we went in for Tony Cruz. I think we was close to getting Cruz, weren't we? Close to getting Gareth Bale at one point, if I'm correct. Back in 2017 under Jose Mourinho, we should have got Ivan Perisic. We came close to getting him, but we didn't get him. The main explanation why I didn't get Perisic is because we was not willing to meet, Inter Milan's valuation at the time. Don't forget, we came very, very close as well to getting Antoine Griezmann back in 2017. Don't forget, we came very, very close, but at that time, due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban, we didn't get Antonio Griezmann. So these players that we have missed out on over the years, there really, really isn't that. But like I said, we're going to get rid of around 5 or 6 players this summer. You already know the players we're going to get rid of. Jones, Pereira, Sanchez, Smalling, Rojo. They'll go on permanent transfers. Gomez, I think, is going to go. Delors could also possibly leave the football club as well. So there you go and that. So there you go. But yeah, but people have got different perceptions on Solskjaer. Some think, he can get us back up there, and some think, he isn't good enough for Manchester United because he hasn't got a proven pedigree behind him, let's be honest, but we just need to give him a bit more time because we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. Don't forget, we're the biggest club in the world with a fantastic history, most successful team in that in England, so there you go. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.